Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is. And it's time for another edition of Let's Argue, where I get on the internet, I take your hot takes, unpopular opinions, tough questions, I respond to the best ones, but in this episode, we're doing a bit of a focus, a theme, a concept. When I went on the internet to engage you, I asked you what, in your opinion, were the worst song lyrics, and these were your responses. Let's go. I keep it 300, like the Romans. Yes, the infamous Kanye lyric where he should have name-dropped the Spartans. It's kind of bad. It sucks to put out a record that is that high profile, and you have so many people like listening to it, and it's passing through so many hands, and there is nobody there to be like,
hey, should be the Spartans.
I mean, 300 was a very popular movie. Was nobody watching? Was nobody paying attention? That one lyric in Father Stretch My Hands, you know it. Over the years, I have grown a little numb to that lyric. It is not as shocking as it used to be, and I guess in a way, I do like the oddity of it and just the fucking audacity of it. It's more audacious than a lot of the shit he had said on Yeezus. And again, I do kind of admire that quality about it, as messed up and as weird as the lyric is. Me not working hard? Yeah, right. Picture that with a Kodak. Or better yet, go to Times Square and picture me with a Kodak. Does he even mean Kodak in two different ways? You know, that's part of the reason that lyrically you would usually mention something like that twice, like you mean the same word or phrase in like a different context, or, you know, with a different underlying implication or something, but yeah, he just wants you to take a picture twice. Maybe it was a sponsorship, a Kodak sponsorship. Head was clean, Tony Fantano, Merlin Wood. Well, you know what? While that lyric is fun, I will agree it is terrible in the fact that now there's pressure for me to have my hair cut clean all the time, and sometimes I just can't be bothered. But now I got this lyric back here that's like, hey, head was clean, and you can see me now, my head's not clean. England is my city. Yes, shout out to Team 10. That is definitely one of the biggest lyrical gems of the 2010s. And England, after all these years, is still not a city. But hey, you know, after Brexit and after the pandemic, who knows? England may, in fact, be reduced to a city. Let's see. Lots of change a-coming. Imagine is a good song, but the lyrics are a bit strange considering that they came from one of the most famous people on the planet at the time, especially the Imagine No Possessions line. I don't know. I don't think there's anything about the lyrics in Imagine that say to me, oh, these would be bad if a famous person had said them. I don't think you need to be like, you know, Jesus Christ and live nomadically and be kind of, you know, spitting some sort of friend gospel across the country to just write a song about imagining a more equitable, better world where people are relatively worry-free and their needs and everything are taken care of. And the dogma of religion and societal stigmas of various strains just don't exist and just aren't there anymore, aren't a factor. Again, I don't think that's necessarily a message you can't relay if you are a famous person or a rich person. I guess it just depends on how out of touch you come off as you are trying to, you know, deliver these thoughts, deliver these words, which was very much the case in that weird little celebrity iPhone sung cover, like very out of fucking touch. Thank you. The View by Metallica and Lou Reed. The lyrics do not work at all with the heavy instrumental, especially with the tone of voice delivered by Lou Reed and James Hetfield. I am the table! Yeah, I get that the I am the table line is a bit of a meme at this point, and personally, I feel like the juxtaposition of Lou's weary old man voice over the heavy, slow thrash instrumental on the song is, yes, unlikely. I understand if for some people that's a bit of a turnoff, but I like that clash. You know, Lou Reed has been known to deliver his kind of dark, weird, avant poetry over a whole myriad of different musical backdrops, and I just thought it was sort of novel and interesting for him to do it over this Metallica thing. But finally with the lyrics, because this is a lyric-based video, what about the lyrics doesn't really fit the instrumental? I mean, in the Views instrumental is kind of slow, it's heavy, a lot of distorted guitar, you know, it sounds somewhat menacing. It's not like over at Lou Reed is delivering a bunch of super sweet, happy rainbows, puppies, and kittens type lyrics. The lyrics of the song are actually quite dark. Maybe you don't like the fact that he's rambling over it poetically a little bit, not necessarily in a rhythmic fashion, but I think if you pared the lyrics down to have a bit more of a flow to them and had James singing all of them, that most people wouldn't really think too much about the lyrics. I mean, again, they're pretty strange, pretty dark. I mean, the lyrics on this track aren't even some of the weirdest on the entire record. Oh, the infamous gerbil ass lines from Eminem's Fack, that track he dropped on his greatest hits album, even though it's actually one of his greatest shits. But yeah, that's really weird. I mean, I know Eminem over the years has really said and you know, implied some pretty fucked up shit in his music. But this is like one of the few songs and batches of lines that, you know, I look at this and I think, are you okay? Can we get a wellness check on Eminem? I know this song came out a while ago, but still, I feel like anybody who wrote this needs to be just like periodically, you know, checked in on. Just cuz. Ain't life a bitch, a fucked up bitch, a fucked up sore with a fucked up stitch, a fucked up head, it's a fucked up shame. Swinging on my nuts is a fucked up game. I let my nuts hang,
right?
All right.
Jealousy fillin', a fucked up mind. It's real fucked up, like a fucked up crime. Wow. If I say fuck 2 more times, that's 46 fucks in this fucked up rhyme. Fred fucking Durst, man. Fred fucking Durst. How did this man get famous? How did this happen? How as a society did we allow this to occur? I don't know. I'm just gonna stick to classics, like Break Stuff. There's a song. Drops of Jupiter, for the most part, is an inoffensive pop song, but the following lines made it unlistenable and nauseating. I can't really say I've thought about that song outside of just the hook. So this should be interesting. Can you imagine no love, pride, deep fried chicken? Your best friend always sticking up for you, even when I know you're wrong. Can you imagine no first dance? Freeze-dried romance? 5-hour phone conversation, the best soy latte that you ever had, and me? Yeah, that is pretty trash. Yeah, definitely some of the worst lyrics so far. All the food references, why? I have a daughter, I'm buying her baby Birkin. Fucked her good. I got her legs hurting from the man gonna. If ever there was a point where rappers really need to start thinking about, you know, what lines they put next to each other, because obviously they're not connected. The her that he is rapping about is obviously a different her. But still, you know, I think rappers do need to at least be a little bit conscious of the fact that, yeah, you may be kind of like throwing out a bit of topical diarrhea going from bar to bar to bar, sort of, you know, one non sequitur after the next. And it's quite a popular style, you know, to sort of rap and write that way. But you really need to think about the line that you're saying. Does it refer weirdly or does it fit oddly next to the line that you just said? The Beatles lyrics, it's okay to leave a dog in a hot car. I like these memes, but it's not really a real lyric. Lil Uzi Pop, Armstrong Marathon, when I'm on the bike like my name Neil. He confused Neil Armstrong and Lance Armstrong. LMAO. Yeah, that's pretty funny. And again, another example of a record and an artist whose music should be getting like the treatment of being gone over with a fine-toothed comb, just to make sure, like, are there any weird production mistakes? Are there any like really odd lyrics or whatever? You know, it just kind of seems like when a record is so high profile, it's worth the extra step. I have fucked up plenty of times in my videos and said the wrong thing, and it happens. It's understandable. You know, it's a thing, but still. From Logic's Pardon My Ego, how can the man misunderstand mental illness this much, especially after claiming to be such a spokesperson on it after his hit song about suicide? I ain't bipolar, Kanye make me wish I was, because that level of genius, the meanest. There's also that other bar that he has out where he raps about how that song made him rich in a very braggadocious type of way. Yeah, for whatever reason, Logic just doesn't seem to walk the walk. He talked the talk on that 800 number song, but since then, he's just made some really ass-headed comments about mental illness and again, sort of the popularity of that track and everything. And it seems like, I don't know, kind of like he was taking advantage of people's negative emotions in a way. Not so good. 'Cause she get wet and she suck me like an insect. She my stepsister, so I guess that's incest. Wow. You got that yummy, 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 yummy. You got that yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, I think that is going to do it for this episode of Let's Argue. Thank you for coming through with some suggestions on the worst lyrics ever. Keep on arguing. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Let's Argue forever.